Yo, what's up? It's Detrimighty back with another video, and it's been a while since I made a video like this. A long while. It's been a minute since I made a video like this, but Prodigy hit me up saying that he had already made a video for Warzone, like breaking down his side of Warzone, that I needed to make one now. So I said bet, so here I am. The 1 year anniversary of Warzone is coming up, and like that's a big deal because the vibes of last year and the vibes of this year are completely different, and it's crazy how far, you know, I've like come as an artist and how we've come like as the cult, bro. Like the cult started around this era surrounding like Warzone and Come On In and whatever else I might have dropped then, I can't remember. And it's like, it's crazy. So it's like, you know, cult shit. Just imagine these are brackets and not T's. Put cult right there. Thank you to everybody who, you know, listened to the song and liked the song and, you know, liked the music video. Cool music video. Yeah, so I'm basically gonna be going over how I like took the stems and shit that he sent me and like what I did with them, and like of course the lyrical content of the song, just in case, you know, that kind of went over your head. Yeah, so let's get it. Lyrically, the song is about a scenario in which there's this guy and he's had feelings for this girl for a really long time. She knows, he knows that she knows, and he knows that she also had feelings, but during this time it was like he didn't know where they really stood with each other. They were just kind of going through the motions, and as a result they kind of like started to like drift in a sense. Because of that like drift that was, you know, happening between them, this other girl came along and was like, hey, what's up? And the guy was like, oh, hi. And you know, that they started to happen, but at the same time the old flame, we'll call her, came back and was like, hey, I like you still. Shit. So he's in this turmoil of like basically which one he should choose, and you know, in the end he ends up choosing the old flame, but not without, you know, being with the other girl first. So yeah, that's pretty much the scenario. I wrote this song in like an hour, recorded it, and like it came out so naturally, and I just thought it was a cool scenario to like write about, because it's kind of like, I don't want to say like fairy tale-esque, but it's the type of like love triangle shit that you would see in movies, like that type of deal. And you know, with the uncertainty, the hesitation, the moment of carelessness, the sheer like mental pain that, you know, all three in the scenario went through. It's kind of just like, yo, you know, like you could dead make a movie off of this song, dude. And it would be cool. So yeah, so now I'm gonna be going over like the arrangement, the beat, and then I'll dig a little deeper into like the lyrics and shit, you know, something I haven't really done before. So yeah, so arrangement wise, I think of it as like a sine wave or whatever, but it's like this. You can kind of see that shape a little bit on the screen, a little bit. That's how I kind of did it. So whenever Prodigy sent me these files, they were originally 130 BPM, like it was faster, and I ended up slowing it down, and I really liked how it sounded, so we just stuck with that. And so I slowed everything down, and then we go to the arrangement, and we start with this dramatic low energy like piano. Da, da, we hit him with the da 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 da, and it transitions into this organ, into this pluck, and it like adds to the energy. It's still on some like suspenseful shit, but it really like heightens, and it's like, whoa, you know, kind of, most people would think, oh, he's gonna stick with the piano the entire time. Nope, I pretty much take it out for the remainder of the fucking song. Yeah, so it transitions into that. And then right before, you know, the hook would start and like the sounds come in, I cut the organ and I let the pluck hang, like, to really like add to the drop. It's like this, and whenever you cut the organ, it just jumps. So anywho. So that would be when the bass comes in, and this lead plucky thing also comes in, which is like super, like, it's really like ominous and atmospheric and just like creepy, so it adds to it. And then this, of course, this like half ugly bass, it's beautiful. So right, then we cut the bass and the snare to add more tension, more energy. Hey, So that's pretty much like the formula for leading up to the hooks. That's like the first one. Here's how it sounds with the vocals.
Take me back, love is lonely over there. Hide the old me, little girl. She won't hold me, you came back. Should've told me. Take me back, love is lonely over there.
Yeah, so it adds a lot to like the drop, you know, and makes people, you know, they're anticipating the drop and they want it to come more, so it's like a cool snare. So for the verse, what I like to do for the first half of the verse, I like to cut like a lot of the sounds, so it'll be like a drop and it's like, oh shit, where am I? And the only thing you hear is like the lyrics and the words that I'm saying, so it's like kind of forces you to pay attention. So in the verse, I cut the 808 and I get rid of like the only thing that's there is a kick, a snare, and the organ that I put a low pass filter on. So even more of the sounds are cut out. So it sounds like, it's really in the background, so you have to like focus on the vocals. And so, but towards the second half of the verse, I add in the hi-hat. Then I add this automation where the low pass gets cut off, and it's like, but it's like a type shit. You know what I mean? And I also add in the plug. And that just makes the second delivery of the second verse, of the second half of the first verse, hit. So yeah, that's that. And then right before it goes into the second hook, it just cuts everything. And since, you know, these are all like sounds, I don't have any like reverb on them or anything, there's no lingering sound, so it's just, it would just be the vocals. Baby girl, my place. So I feel like taking away the sounds of the background and only having your voice adds a lot more to like that floaty for split second you're flying before you just fall fast back down to the ground type shit. Goes straight into the kick. And then we go to like the second verse, or like the bridge or whatever. And for that, since Prodigy also sent me the MIDI for these files, I took some of my own sounds and I just switched up the energy, switched up the vibes a little bit. And it's like still on that dark, like melancholy, but it's like closed into a little room in the first half of the second verse. So we have this whistle. It's not my whistle, it's a preset. And then I add this old piano. Goes from being in this like claustrophobic, like alone type deal, and it just completely opens up, and it's like the amount of sounds I basically combined the sounds I made with Prodigy stems, and then you get this. To make it this big and dramatic type of deal, to really emphasize the lyrical content in this part, to really like make it hit a lot harder. Like, shit, this part of the beat's hella extravagant. What he's saying here is very important and I should listen to it. But I have been told that a lot of people can barely understand what I'm saying. And, you know, and then after that big old fucking massive, just wide sounding section, it goes back into the piano. The dramatic. And then let the organ hang, put a sweep in it. The second half of the last hook, I really, you know, played with it and experimented with the sounds and the arrangement to keep that energy up. And then for the last bit of the song, just have that whistle and bass and shit, and it's like, I'm gonna see how much I can get out of it. I'm almost done, to be honest. I might not be able to break down everything. That explanation of the content, of like the lyrical content I gave in the beginning, that's the hook. That's literally like the hook. So I'll try and quickly go over the verse. Bear with me. If anything, because I really like the song and I think it's really important. If the camera does die, it'll just be straight audio. So the first half of the first verse.
Tell me, am I seeing things? Help me, don't know what it means. Outside, where I used to be. In my head, now I'm shivering.
Now, the first half of the first verse, the guy, you know, he just, you know, the old flame told the guy, hey, I still like you. And it's like, he's not in disbelief because he's always known, but it's just kind of like, yo, your timing couldn't be any more impeccable type deal. And it's like, at first he's excited, he's like, yes, but at the same time, this girl has already come in and he's already pretty much opened himself to the possibility of her. And it's like, would it really be fair to her if he, you know, or himself if he denied himself that? And it's like, yo, what the hell? And so now things are like flipped, you know. Instead of like being outside, you know, out there in the public, he's inside his head and shivering. And it's like, you know, this begins the internal conflict that happens with it. So it's just kind of like, fuck, it's a shit show. Second part.
Yeah, now I'm shivering. Okay, my space diminishing. You came by, oh my god, the best of me. Still my light shines bright when you're next to me. Always stargaze, baby girl, my place.
Now, everything except like the last line just sounded cool. Always stargaze, baby girl, my place. That just sounded cool. I just liked the way that sounded. So, but the second part of the first hook, you know, his mental faculties aren't diminishing, even though he literally says that they are. His headspace is diminishing. But it's getting to a point where it's like, he's like, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I think I'm gonna do just, you know, just play it by ear and see what happens, you know. And whether or not that was the right thing to do, he would figure out later that it wasn't really either right or wrong. It just happened, and it is what it is. Yeah, that's like the first verse. The first verse is strictly turmoil. It's conflict. What can he do? What is there for him to do? What's the right thing to do? And in the situation, depending, there really wasn't a right or a wrong. So, boom. Let's go over to the bridge.
It's so cold, alone, take me home. Oh, so my heart is a war zone. My heart is a war zone. I feel it in my bones. You help to save my soul. Together till we're old.
Now, I could have come a lot harder here, bruh. Like, whenever I made it, I was like, yo, what the fuck? But listening to it now, it is very anticlimactic, in my opinion. Like, it still sounds good as hell, but it was like, fuck. But, and this part, he's still in turmoil, but it's a lot more somber. It's just sad. It's not as hectic. The relationship with the other girl is getting testy, the new flame, and everything's just like slowing down, and he's coming at peace, but he's still in pain. His heart is a war zone, and it's not even like these two girls are fighting for him. That's not what's happening. It's like, I guess you could basically say he's fighting for both of them at the same time, and you can't really do that. And so it just tears him, and he feels more alone than ever. And it's just like, even with the other girl, it's just like, damn, I don't know what to do. You know, mentally it starts to decay, and it arises all these new issues and insecurities. Just like, damn. But in the end, he still chooses the old flame, just because, not necessarily because she's familiar or whatever, just because he was never out of love with her in the first place. And it was just like, you know, it fits. It feels not just better, it feels right, like correct, you know, so to speak. Yeah, that's like the lyrical content of the song. And that's Warzone right there. masterpiece. Yeah, dude, like making the song was super fun. It was incredibly fun. Making the music video was a lot more fun, and it was a great project. I remember when we first initially released it though, it didn't really do that well on SoundCloud. It was like shit, like it didn't do that good. It did pretty abysmal on SoundCloud. On Spotify and shit, I think it did good, but it didn't do as well as I thought it would have whenever I released it. But yeah, that's Warzone. I want to know, like, let me know in the comments if any of you guys can relate to the scenario that I'm painting in this song. Let me know, because I'm curious. So yeah, shout out to Prodigy. Me and him, if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram. But if you've been following me on Instagram, you would have seen that me and Prodigy got something else coming, bro. Ah, shit, like, it's kind of a banger. Be on the lookout for that. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at detra.mighty. Follow Prodigy on Instagram at sorrymprodigy. Big things coming, bro. Very big. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, like, subscribe, listen to Warzone, link in description. Yeah, it's Detra Mighty.